How's it going, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day. I know I am. I know this isn't Minecraft, which is what I usually play on this channel, but I did want to hop on the hype train and talk a little bit about Hytale because I have a very unique position in regards to it. Oh, that's a skeleton right away. Okay, that's awesome. Um, because I have been in the Minecraft development scene, well, I should say server development scene, for many, many years. And so I have a unique viewpoint of this. Is this guy actually not going to leave me alone? Okay, there we go. Yeah. So for those who don't know, I'm just going to very quickly summarize. Hytale is a game that was announced years ago, and then it was bought by Riot, who absolutely fucked it up like everything they do, because China. And then basically nothing happened to its development and it kind of died out. So then Simon, the owner of Hypixel, the best, not best, biggest, most successful, most prolific Minecraft server there is, basically repurchased it with his own little money and then has funded its development to a slight degree and then released it in a very, very, very unfinished form in this early access that you could buy now. For starters, the game's like $20, and in my opinion, I do think it is well worth it already. I have approximately, I want to say 10 hours in the game at this point, multiple playthroughs with a lot of friends, and it is a very, very fun game. I'm going to, right off the bat, address the elephant in the room, which is the Minecraft comparison. People like to compare it a lot to Minecraft because of obviously the heavy inspirations that it has from Minecraft. And I totally understand where they're coming from, but I do not think that that is the correct approach one should be having. Hytale is a very, very different game than Minecraft. I mean, yeah, the only real thing they have in common is the fact that they have a blocky world. I mean, look, there's not even like voxel lighting. It's completely different. And so yeah, there's some overlaps, there's some inspiration, but like if you even look at like the crafting system or progression of Hytale compared to Minecraft, you'll see a lot of differences. So I want to talk about my perspective and what I think of Hytale in its current state and also the future. So yeah, I'm just gonna I don't know. I'm trying to structure this like an intro to a video, but it's not really how that works. So right off the bat, I want to say that the environments are incredible. It's very impressive what they've done with the terrain generation, especially in the later stages of the game. I like that, for example, early game, you don't have to go like strip mining. You can just immediately enter a cave and it'll pretty much go on for a very, very long time, which is really, really nice. And not a lot of people actually consider that. So like there's an offhand system where you can have more than one item, stuff like that. And they should be adding, I believe that they will be adding, where you can like place the torch. So currently the meta I have is doing that. Just putting one in the offhand and then those there. Yeah. So the game's progression is very unfinished, and that's why it's very difficult to be constructive in a complete sense, because we really don't know what's going to happen in, let's say, 2 years, but I do think that in its current state is most definitely playable if you look past the bugs. Obviously, I've seen a few crazy bugs on Twitter, but I myself have not experienced anything terribly game-breaking, which, that's probably a good thing. But I do think that it is very different from Minecraft. And I think the biggest thing that stands out to me is the accessibility to modding and creation. I mean, this is something that literally it says it on the tin. I think that even in the trailer that they posted all those years ago, one of the key selling points was that it would be stupidly easy to modify the game and add new features and stuff. Kind of like Roblox, I think, is probably the best comparison out there. I would say Epic, but Epic Games doesn't really know anything, so that's not really an accurate statement anymore. And there's a crazy story about that, because one of my neighbors used to work for Epic Games, and he was developing like a Roblox clone that he wanted to get my opinion on. And I looked at it, and I was like, this is slop, little bro. But that's a story for a different time. So yeah, I guess I should talk about the big thing, which is my experiences. So I've been in development of Minecraft servers. I'm going to try to keep this as anonymous as possible. I should say A because it's only really one. I've worked on a Minecraft server since 2018. I've been the development. I've done building. I've done light coding, with a built-in Java-based script that they use for like plugins and animations and cutscenes and stuff. It's an MMO, so it is pretty similar to something like Hytale. And I also there's a strong overlap between the community of that server, and Hypixel, which is the source of the development of Hytale. So there's a lot of people who worked in Hypixel and then were moved over to Hytale. There's people who they've moved from the server that I was working with. I don't want to say stolen because that's not really the message I'm trying to get across. And they were probably paid pretty handsomely. But there's an overlap of development. So that's just hi there. Okay, we're doing this. Yeah, so like the combat is incredibly different between the two games right off the bat. You can see that, with abilities and stuff. It's very cool, and there's a wide variety of different like weapons you can use and loadouts and stuff. It's kind of like a subclass system, but it's not really classes, at least in the current state, because I don't really think that there's like ability trees or anything. But I'm very excited for what it has in the future because the light MMO elements that they already have are very, very refreshing. And I wonder what they're going to do with it in further development, especially considering they have a solid amount of the design team who have worked in MMO settings, like Hypixel Skyblock. I don't think there's a lot of people. I know Minicloon, if you know who that is, who is admin on Hypixel, has, I believe, had a hand in the development, or at least some level of creative and processing vision and administration over Hytale. And so it's very cool to see, familiar names working on such an impressive project such as this. And I think that what they've made is very, very impressive, even if it is in a very unfinished state. Hytale is incredibly moddable. I think day one people were already making crazy models and mods out there. Someone has already retextured the entire game to look like Minecraft, which when you do that, you do really realize it's not true Minecraft. It looks very, very different. And I think that that's good. Because allow me to explain, there's this appeal that I've broken down, what I like so much about Hytale. So Minecraft is a very culturally relevant game, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure that pretty much everybody knows a lot about it, or at least to a degree. A great example that the internet loves to bring up is nether portals. I mean, in current, more modern versions, it's pretty easy to figure out how to make a nether portal. Dude, that's the guy that actually screws you over. Okay, I have to go now. That bullfrog is genuinely the worst thing in this entire game. It's some like Deep Rock Galactic development shit. Yeah, you come over here. Sorry, one second, I gotta lock in here. Yeah, I like playing rogue classes because of the movement and the rapid speed. Okay, he's gonna grab me now, isn't he? Oh no, it's a different guy. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, the light RPG elements are great. Sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought. I do apologize. Alright, I'm gonna fuck off now, kindly. I think I've got a good amount of stuff. Yeah, so like there's an overlap. They've recruited people I know who have had a hand in the development of this game before or after the great shifts. I should say multiple shifts. And I think that in the current state, it has a lot of potential. And I think that's the great thing about Hytale. It is refreshing. Sorry, I got my train of thought back. I got it. It is refreshing in the sense that you don't know everything. In modern Minecraft, they've obviously tried to design these, what they like to call like natural tutorials, where it's like the game will subtly tell you how to do something. So a great example is like the nether portal, right? There's like ruined nether portals now that kind of tell you like, okay, well, this is what a nether portal's supposed to look like. And that's how players, new players, I should say, are intended to figure out how to get to the nether. Whereas any person who has like remotely used the internet knows what a nether portal is, right? They know like how to make it and stuff. And so I think that is that charm is what makes Hytale stand out, because we don't know everything. I don't even know the mob spawning mechanics in this game. I don't know if it's light based, like so many, like Minecraft, I should say. Not even so many, like Minecraft. You know, I don't know where the overlap of Minecraft starts and ends. Like the trees, you chop one down and it all falls, which is great. There's no floating blocks, and I think that's great. It's a very refreshing feeling to actually have wood as an extremely abundant resource without having to painstakingly mine. The place where Hytale definitely stands out the most in its current state is its combat, because it has that RPG inspired elements to it. I have to actually turn this on, right? There we go. Because it has RPG inspirations, and also because Hypixel itself is a heavily combat-focused community and server, the combat system in this game is much more refined than Minecraft. Obviously, the 1.8 version of Minecraft combat, where it's quite literally whoever clicks the fastest wins, is deeply flawed. Even the modern versions, where it's just block with your shield until tomorrow, is also not a great solution when it comes to development. But like, there's so much just like little things and attention to detail that I see like, okay, they've clearly taken inspiration from Minecraft in this capacity, but then what they've done with it is they've like learned from that and improved it. So here's a great example. Okay, so here's a campfire. I can turn it on, it starts cooking. If I turn it off, it saves the cooking progress. In Minecraft, it would go back down. That's so convenient. Or the fact that charcoal is produced passively as a byproduct of smelting. That's incredible. And I'm sure that in the future, they're probably going to add some automation systems, hopefully, like Minecraft has with hoppers and redstone. Because, not redstone necessarily, because I feel like that is a bit of uniqueness to Minecraft. But like, I want to see pulley systems and a way to transport items and make storage systems, because I think that's something that this game needs so much. There are so many different items, and there's upgrades to your inventory and stuff, and that's very cool. The downside I do see with this game is currently the character customization. It's not like Minecraft where you can just upload a skin. It's like this, and so you gotta like make little parts to it. Mine, I'm a pay pig, so mine looks like good, but the average person isn't going to look too great, and I'm sure that that's just not that high on their priority list, and that's probably why it looks the way it does. The game is currently featuring 4 zones. There's planned to be 6 to my understanding, and obviously a lot of the story and the lore is not present, which means that it is truly a sandbox mode. There is an adventure or like story campaign whatever mode that is planned to be released, but in the current state, it's just not there. Like, look, you can have a map and you can see the biomes and stuff. And it's just it's so cool. I do enjoy this game. I enjoy it because it rekindles the cluelessness and naivete that I had as a kid playing Minecraft. And that's why I think that the people who love to call themselves old Minecraft, you know, the people who are always complaining about the new update, or whatever, right, in Minecraft, who want to go back to their childhood, I think that this is a great game for them, because it rekindles the simplicity of Minecraft while at the same time giving them a new environment to rediscover everything. A critique I do have is the art style. I do not understand why they decided to go with this 64 texture style. I think it works in some senses, but not in others, and so it's a little bit odd. Or like the fact that not all mobs are passive, like there's just going to be things that will inherently attack you, is cool. Okay, this guy's actually going to screw me out. Holy dude. Okay, yeah. See, so there's an interesting AI, and I don't think the AI has been overly developed. I think there's only one fightable boss currently in the game, with more planned along the way, but still. There's a million different, like, benches and stuff to use to craft everything, which reminds me a lot of other games. I can't say because the server I worked for. And people also compare it to Terraria in the progression sense, and I do see that. I do think it has a lot of potential, and so if this is something that you're interested in, definitely give Hytale a shot. It is a very uniquely designed game, and I think that in a few years' time, it's probably going to be much more mainstream. However, I do also have the slight theory that it is going to be in a state where no one's going to care. It's going to get the Lethal Company treatment where no one is touching this game. And I'm worried. I don't want that to happen. I want this game to do well. Okay, that's much more like it. Yeah, there's like a blocking system and everything. Yeah, it completely negates damage. It's kind of like parrying. There's cooldowns to it though, so it is a little tricky. It's not like Minecraft where you can just spam left and right click. And that's cool. Again, see there I am doing the Minecraft comparison. It's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Also, death penalties are a little different in this game compared to Minecraft. Damn, I gotta stop doing that. But I feel like it does make sense to use Minecraft as the benchmark, since that is the game that most people are familiar with. In Minecraft, you die and your items splat everywhere. Here, it's like half your items, and the durability goes down by 10% to your items. Okay, now this guy's fucking off. What the hell? What's your deal, man? Oh, so when they retreat, they fully heal health. Interesting. See, I'm learning something about this game. There we go. Light work, no reaction. Food in this game, there's no hunger, so it's purely heals. Again, because of the combat orientation, it makes a lot more sense. But what I do like is that there's not just instant heals, there's like passive healing to items, which is pretty neat. I'm not going to bore you too much with the progression. I'm just going to show you a little bit because it is an interesting game. So like you got to like use tanning mechanics where you put in leather from, or hide, I should say, from mobs you've hunted, and then you can, like the progression is much more complicated than Minecraft. And it is definitely a much more difficult game. Trust me, guys, I am pretty good at games. Compared to my friend group, I think I am the best at video games among all of them. And so, even for me, there's situations where this game has given me quite the hard time. The building in this game is also fantastic. There's vertical slabs, there's roof blocks and everything. And I think that because it's a community-driven game, in the sense that Simon is actively taking suggestions from players, there's a lot of potential for just your idea to be added. It's like pistons in the old Minecraft days where, you know, you just hit up Notch and then you'd be like, hey, this is something that I've encountered and I thought that this would be a cool fix to this, or this is a cool feature. I know that like they're adding offhand things, like, yeah, right now if I hold my torch I can't really place it, so it just serves as a function of light, but I do know that they're adding offhand placement in like tomorrow's patch or whatever. So probably by the time you're watching this, that's probably already been implemented, hopefully. Auto-equipping, that's a great feature, you know, they don't have to manually drag the armor into it. Or the fact that, let me just demonstrate real quick. If you craft a chest and you just put it here and you store items in it, it will automatically understand that the items in the chest, so like 14 copper, yeah, it's right here. It'll take items from nearby chests. That is such a simple feature, and it does so much. Genuinely great. I love it. I love it. There's also a progression in the sense that you can upgrade your workbench to unlock better recipes and for items. Currently only goes up to 2 or 3 for the workbench. I think it goes up to like 10 for the farming one. So there's like end game farming focus. Farming mechanics are very, very complicated in this game. There's no fishing. There's no fishing, so I can't say it's a perfect game, because I do love me some fishing. But even like it gives you a sense of accomplishment. Getting an iron pickaxe the first time feels hard, and then once you do, you can like 2-tap rocks. The fact that it saves breaking progress across them, and the way that durability works is it takes care of hits. So like this is 127 or 247, and now it's at 246. I haven't broken the block, so I've just hit it, which is something to consider. There is a lot of bugs, so I will just demonstrate real quick. If you have a shield, yeah, you can store. If you have a shield, you're holding a pickaxe, and you block with the shield, and you shield bash, you can do that. Now, you can just argue, oh, well, that's just, that's a feature. Yeah, I sure hope so. I think that they should keep this. I think this is a great mechanic, because look, I just dug out that whole tunnel. My pickaxe has lost some durability, and yet it saves time. I think it's pretty balanced. The fact that items have like repair kits that you can use and craft, so it very much takes inspiration from modded Minecraft. I know that they're planning to implement a forge where you can have, it's like Tinker's Construct if you've played that Minecraft mod, where you can make like blades and assemble custom weapons, which is exciting. And there's lore if that's your cup of tea. So the current state of the game, it's obviously not at all perfect, but I think that it is a very fun game to play alone and with friends. I've played it a lot with friends. This is my first real single player playthrough. There's always something to do. There's a next goal to progress, or a place where you want to build your house or something. And with the wide amount of building blocks that you have, it is genuinely a positive experience. There's also like third-person camera features, and you can make machinimas, a lot of creative tools. There's the built-in features where you can copy, paste, rotate builds, like schematics. So it's a lot like World Edit. I've worked with many different like plugin development stuff in my time, and 3D modeling, and the fact that like it accepts those languages, and there's a direct port to Blockbench, which is the main 3D modeling program that is used by modders and developers on Minecraft, is incredible. Because while we might argue, hey, don't compare this game to Minecraft, let's not kid ourselves. The target audience for this game is totally just people who have played Minecraft, which is completely fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I think it's just that there is a section of that community that is going to be overly critical of what it is and how it compares. And that's the problem. Like yeah, okay, look, so this sleeve's exposed, but when I take it off, it's not. So it quite literally just unequips the shirt layer and then puts that. That's a bug, right? Okay, so we'll have to report that. Stuff like that. It's obviously not perfect. There's also the memories feature, which is the current game progression. So if you pull up your map, you find this little thing. You can mark it, and essentially what it is, boost over there, it's a temple that gives you access to the game's progression, and you like unlock recipes by encountering mobs for the first time. I don't really know what the point of this is. I think it's just a very early concept, and so it's hard to be critical of the more undefined features that the game has. Because, and when I'll go over there, you'll see there's a lot of it that's just like, it says, see, like a fox? Oh, friend shaped? Absolutely not. That guy's going to fuck you up. So yeah, there's a lot that I can't really be overly critical of because I don't know the final intention of it. I have friends who have had a hand in this game's development, but that does not mean that they can break their NDA. Or rather, it doesn't mean that I can break their NDA, I guess I should say. Oh, it's the guys. It's the Quebecs. This is cool. This is their village. It's actually really neat. I wonder if they have, oh yeah, so they have trading. Yeah, so they use life essence. So there's like trading mechanics and stuff, and it's all very early stage. A lot of the structures you'll encounter will actually be complete. There's very few that I've run into where it's the game will just like put like a work in progress sign over it and then say, yeah, there's actually nothing here yet. You can't really do much. So it's neat that I just went through the portal. That's kind of funny. This is the Forgotten Temple. So this is a really interesting approach to how the game takes its progression, because these are like instances, I believe is what they're called. So like there's blocks, but you can't actually interact with them. So think like a Minecraft server, right? Not all, like you go to like a lobby, you can't do anything. And here you have, work in progress. There's an actual trader, just like we saw. There's this thing, which then unlocks memories, which is basically encountering different types of mobs. It's like a bestiary. So basically, if you find every single mob in the game, just like encounter it, it'll count. And I think you can do like 15 at a time before you have to come back here, which is a little annoying. But it is cool that there's like milestones. It's like 200 and you get a bunch of features. I think the models are very impressive and the animations are very clean. I'm going to go into F5 here for a second just so you can take a look. It's very, very, very clean. It's a wonderful game, and I do think that it will have cultural relevance long in the future. Oh, the crap, the golem's still here. Hey, man, what's up? But so, yeah, the way that they approach instances is that there's a lot of game progression. Okay, so I guess the best example here I can talk about is the Nether, right? So the Nether is like a separate dimension, right? So it has its own world generation and all of that. You can't just walk from one to the other. You have to like take a portal. So in that vein, Hytale has instances of silver ore, huge. Hytale has some instances where it's like you do late game you can like craft crystals and visit like other worlds. And it's a lot like going to the Nether, or even here where I just went to like that temple, right? That's transferring instances. I quite literally left this server and went to a separate one. And then, see, look, I'm collecting the memories now. I went from one server to another, and it's just a local instance. So it's like a sub-server kind of thing. Now, I don't know long-term if it'll be like an MMO in the sense that you can meet people from other worlds, other servers there. And if that's like something that you will be able to enable, disable. I highly doubt that. But again, I don't know how much they're going to lean into the MMO aspect and how much they're not going to lean into it. But if you think that this kind of game is your cup of tea, absolutely give it a shot. I know this is a long video. I'm trying to keep them short, but I wanted a very comprehensive overview of this game since I don't really think I will be playing it again, at least on this channel. Unless it's something that people would explicitly like to see, in which case you can let me know in the comments. I think I have like 6 subs right now, which is pretty impressive, low-key, considering I made this channel a few weeks ago and I wasn't really expecting substantial growth for some time. So yeah, $20, absolutely worth it. Even if it's current state, it will be worth it years down the line. Music is kind of mid though, but the progression is very fun. Play with friends though, don't play it alone. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.